a little bit of an update on X-Men, which I think like a year ago we
Yeah,
heard.
it was, I think, yeah, wasn't it kind of like at the last TCAs that was bubbling up? Anyway, go ahead.
No, just that we had heard that there was rumblings that Fox was looking at developing a X-Men TV show, and now one of the heads of Fox has gone on record and saying, yes, that's something we'd like to do, very early talks about it, and interestingly enough, he kind of confirmed that they are talking to Marvel because Marvel would kind of have to sign off on this, which is something we've actually wondered about before. With the TV rights.
Who has those rights was our question, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess.
Because we knew Spider-Man, we knew that Sony did not have TV rights to Spider-Man.
Right.
And it seemed like Marvel must have TV rights to X-Men because they've had Wolverine pop up on Ultimate Spider-Man. So I guess they do,
Yeah, so that they could theoretically, I mean, that is an interesting negotiation though, right?
It's very interesting.
Because there seems to be, on the movie side, a bit of bad blood between Marvel and Fox in terms of the X-Men characters, and they're distancing, in the comics, they're distancing themselves from those characters and
not merchandising them.
or just murdering them.
Things
like that, you know, like, so then suddenly if they were making profits from a live action show and had an investment in that, would they then backtrack off? You know what I mean? Like, would they then want to promote those characters more? Would they have further investment?
I mean, maybe this is just a larger conversation. Again, what if, what maybe, you know, again, they have to kind of accept, I don't know, you know, at least think about the fact that they're not getting the X-Men rights back, right? Like we've talked about this. Like if Fantastic Four bombs, maybe that could revert. But they've got 4 X-Men movies set for release in the next year and a half.
Fox is not letting go of X-Men.
That's not going back. So maybe they do have to have a larger conversation about, okay, if that's not happening, let's work this out. And I don't think it will mean, certainly no time soon, crossing over X-Men and MCU because it's too complicated.
Way too complicated.
But maybe they can have a conversation about, okay, this TV thing, what will we do? How would this work?
Right, and then and the interesting thing about that is that DC has this very clearly stated divide between TV and film. As we know, there's going to be a Flash in the movies, there's going to be a Flash on TV. Totally different universes. Marvel has now set up a cohesive universe, the cinematic universe and the television universe. This would, you know what I mean? So this would have to be X-Men on movies and X-Men on TV would be 2 totally separate things.
Well, I don't think that. See, I think I think it would be Marvel just allowing them to do the TV show, and it would be in the continuity of the movies.
But what of those actors are going to do a TV show?
Oh, it doesn't have to be any of them. But that's the thing is, there's X-Force, Generation X, X Factor. X Factor would be awesome because it's a detective agency thing. So there's just a million ways you could do, and all you have to do is, you know, you can have the references to the movie stuff without it being a direct crossover.
Yeah, be pretty interesting to see how it's handled. You know.
It would be very...
Because it was X-Force that they were talking about using, wasn't it?
X-Force, well, X-Force as a movie has been talked about for quite a while,
Yeah, but I...
Oh, X Factor, which is the detective, which makes a lot of sense, like as far as like the detective agency idea. It's a kind of a film noir thing, which we're already getting with Jessica Jones and Powers, but why not another one? Yeah, we'll see. You know, and I want to kind of get... Whenever this topic comes up, there will always people write to us or say, hey, if Marvel has the TV rights, why don't they just introduce that stuff into the MCU via TV? We don't know for sure if even though they have the TV rights, there might be restrictions on live action. Certainly, I don't think they could do it. I don't know, but I certainly don't think they could. I don't think they could have a live action Wolverine. I think it is a weird restriction. Like right now, I don't think either of them could do anything on TV. But even if they could, they never would, I don't think, because even they know that, they could do it despite Fox, but what is the point of saying, guess what, there are mutants, all these characters, and we can't mention it in the movies? How weird would that be?
That would be very weird.
It's a shared universe, but only on the TV show can we talk about all this crazy stuff.
No, that wouldn't make any sense at all. And again, I think to your earlier point, it's just way too complicated in terms of the licensing and the rights and all that, and who's on first and who's got, I mean, that's like a math problem for lawyers.
Right.
But Marvel's got plenty on their plate as it is, you know, in terms of both film and television. And they are trying, I think, to get a stronghold in TV. They haven't done that yet.
No.
I mean, they are, you know, if we're looking at it as a race, like DC's winning on television.
Right. But Marvel's got...
But we're not looking at it as a race because we're not...
And Marvel's got so many things the next year, so we'll see where that goes. So yeah, we'll see what happens, though. I'd be very curious if this all works out.